Hello again, and welcome to this second part of my adventure to Scotland. So I'm taking a short walk now from Glasgow Central Station to Glasgow Queen Street Station. I'll walk up in about 5 to 10 minutes. If you're unable to walk between the two, there is the shuttle bus 398 that departs from outside the station and takes you a link between Glasgow Central, Glasgow Queen Street and Buchanan Coach Station. So there is a bus, but I'm quite able to walk, and a nice leisurely 5 to 10 minute walk between the two is fantastic for me. I am on my way to get a train now to Oban. It departs around 8:21 I think, so I've got about 50 minutes, so I've got plenty of time to walk to Queen Street. Well, I will take the train to Oban. I've now arrived at Glasgow Queen Street. A relatively new station, only been open in a couple of years now. The building has been replaced from its old building. I'm going to board the train now to Oban, and the train does divide at Craiglanilloch, where the front half of the train is going to go to Oban, and the rear part of my train will go to Mallaig via Fort William. So it's important you board the correct part of the train when you leave here at Glasgow, depending where you're going. The train's already in, but it's not ready for boarding yet. It's on platform 7. However, I do recommend, although it's not mandatory, that you have a seat reservation. This service is quite busy, as you can imagine, especially during holiday times. A reservation on UK trains is free. You can obtain this when you buy your tickets, or you can obtain it from any ticket office if you already have a ticket. It just gives you peace of mind that you have a seat for the long journey that it is to the Highlands of Scotland. I'm going to span the camera around now and we can see, there we go. So the trains are formed of 156 class of DMU, diesel multiple units. The train's going to be 3 trains attached together, with the front train going to Oban and the rear 2 sets of train going to Fort William and Mallaig. When the train's ready for boarding, it will be announced on the passenger information screens, and we can board. As we're a little early at the moment, it's not time for boarding. I do have a seat reservation for this train, so I'm going to have a nice comfortable journey to Oban. So here we have our train. As I said, the front portion of the train goes to Oban, and at Oban we arrive there around 11:27. The rear part of the train goes to Fort William and Mallaig, arriving at Fort William around 12:10 this afternoon, and into Mallaig at around 1:38 this afternoon. So it's quite a long journey considering it leaves here at 8:20 in the morning. So as I said, it is advisable to have a seat reservation for this train. We're just waiting for the train to board now. It's about half an hour before departure, and the staff here at Glasgow Queen Street are just preparing the train for us. The train needs to be attached together, cleaned, and all the seat reservations added. So the boarding of the train won't be until around 15 minutes before departure, as the staff here are doing their job to get the train prepared and ready for its voyage to Oban and Mallaig and Fort William. So we're now boarding our train to Oban. I'm in coach G. There is a letter on each coach. Seat numbers are located above the luggage rack there, and you get quite a nice seat there. Not much padding on the seat, but it is still quite comfortable. You also get a charging socket at each seat and table. I am reserved a seat. As you can see, this train is quite busy with all the reservations on board. And I am seat 35, so I am going to find my seat. There we go, seat 35, and it has my reservation there. The camera will focus in a second. The 35, Glasgow to Oban. So yeah, this is our sleeper. this is our secret. This is our train to Oban. There's a toilet there, and I believe it does have Wi-Fi as well, which I might need to connect to because the reception up in the Highlands is not very good. So here we are for the next few hours. We are well on our way now to Oban, and the views are starting to be spectacular. I would recommend if you're travelling on the train to try and take a seat to the left-hand side facing the direction of travel, as the left-hand side facing the direction of travel will have most views on. There's lots of trees and that in the way, but you can still get quite a good view and a glimpse of our way to Oban. So we have arrived in Oban after the lovely journey up there from Glasgow. The journey time was about 3 hours, 3 hours from Glasgow all the way up to Oban. We've now got about an hour from here just to go across the road where the ferry terminal is before I take my ferry across to Mull. Oban's a lovely little town if you ever get time to come here. It's I've been here many times before, so it will be a flying visit today. I might go and get some lunch quickly and then go and check in for my ferry. See you over there. It's a short walk now from the station, stopping off at the Wetherspoons there for a bit of lunch. To the ferry terminal. The ferry terminal is right next door to the station, so if you did it straight away, it'll take you about 2 or 3 minutes to walk it. And we are now going to check in for our ferry across the sea. So we are now in the departure lounge, awaiting to board the ferry to the Isle of Mull. A return ticket on the ferry was £7.80. You can book this online if you wish, or you can pay on the day. Though if you pay on the day, space might be sold out. But I did buy in advance. I collected my ticket, and you get a ticket like this. Anyway, as I said, it was a very reasonable £7.80 return. So we're just waiting now to board the ferry in the departure lounge. The departure lounge here has some seats and some toilets. There's no refreshments here on site, but the Wetherspoons is literally a minute's walk away, and there's some street vendors just outside of the ferry terminal. So it's just time now to wait until we set sail, and it won't be long. So we're now on the ferry. It's quite a large ferry for a relatively short crossing. You've got a cafe on board, there's a shop on board, so there's plenty of amenities on board if you wanted to have something on board. I'm going to go to the open deck in a second to watch the ferry go out, but first let's go for a little walk around the ferry. And so we've come to the outer deck. As it's not raining, it's just a bit damp. There's plenty of cafes and bars on board this ferry, so if you do want a snack, there is plenty of choice to choose from. There's a large cafeteria serving hot and cold food. On the upper middle deck, the cafe counter sells coffees and light refreshments, and there is also a bar, a fully licensed bar on the first deck when you go through on the left hand side, selling a wide variety of alcoholic beverages. I've decided to come out here just to look at this stunning view. As you can see just behind me now, look at how stunning it is, and we've not even left port yet. The journey time of around 1 hour to the Isle of Mull, and as I said, it was only £7.80 return. I do recommend you book in advance and collect your tickets when you arrive here. So it's about 10 minutes before sailing, and we're nearly ready for the off. we're now on the bus to Fort. Quite an expensive journey, £18.50 for an adult return from here to Fort, which is a tad expensive side compared to other bus journeys I have done in the past, and the journey isn't very long at all. It's in the form of this Van Hall Astra Mega double deck coach. There is another bus there, Omni City. So this island's got quite a big capacity of double deck vehicles, it seems. So I'm on the bus now for probably just under an hour, I think it is, and then hopefully we'll be getting another ferry across to another island. All will be revealed. We have now arrived in Fort, and we're going to take the ferry now across to the next island along Inoa. So it's just a short walk from the bus stop there into the ferry terminal, to go across again on another ferry to the next island along Inoa. So our next ferry is just a short hop across to Inoa. A lot smaller ferry than the one from Oban to the island of Mull. Just a short hop to the next island along. I thought whilst I am here I might as well kill two birds with one stone and cover two islands that I've never been to before. The bus service was a very scenic route, single track road for 35 miles. As I said, there was $18.50 for an adult day return. For the ferry now, we'll pay on the ferry this time when it comes in. I'm not too sure how much. I think it's about £7 or £8, but I will soon find out. I'm going to turn the camera around now in a second to show you where Inoa is. We're now on the vessel to take us across to Inoa. A lot smaller than the last one. The last ferry had quite a bit on it, but obviously this is only just a 10 minutes short hop across. There is a toilet and some seating, no cafe, and certainly no bars on this one. But here we are on the short crossing now for about 10 minutes across to Inoa. Return fare was £3.70. They take card as well as cash payments. However, if you're paying by cash, please make sure you have a small amount of money, as they carry limited change on them. So now we're on the cross to Inoa. We have arrived in Inoa. So we're going to take a quick look around now and then go back towards Oban and for my sleeper back to London later this evening. But that was a short crossing, about 10 minutes to get over to Inoa. Very nice crossing, a little bit bumpy, so you do get seasick. Maybe not the best way for you to do. So we're now going to have a little walk around Inoa. Probably won't get much time to have a look around Mull, but I will do next time. I'm going to go to the other side of Mull, is my plan for another trip on another day. This trip I decided I'm going to come to Inoa, so yeah, I like to cram a lot of scenery on my trips, and now I'm going to go for a walk. Now this is a single carriageway, two-way direction road. My advice for you if you're on this road: listen out for traffic, both behind you and in front of you, and if you see a vehicle, just step aside and allow it to pass before continuing. So let's go and see what this island has to offer in the short time I'm here. My little walk has taken me to Port and Beach. A little beach here at the island of Inoa. So I'm going to take a little look around here. It's around 20 minutes walk to get to the beach from the ferry terminal, and I'll let you decide for yourself whether it's a nice beach or not. I think it's quite nice, quite quiet, lots of stones though, really hard to walk on sometimes, so if I fall over, that's not my fault, it's the stones. Let's twist the camera and look. Yeah, I think that is beautiful. It's the place where there's no one about. Just no one. So after a very nice afternoon here on the Isle of Iona, we are now taking the ferry back across to Finning Fort, where we get the bus back to the Isle of Mull, the ferry terminal, and then across back to Oban, and then back down to London this evening. So here we are for the short 10-minute crossing and back across the sea. So we are on the coach back to Mull, ferry terminal on the Isle of Mull. To take the ferry back across to Oban, and now the coach journey from the both terminals where I am now is about an hour and 10 minutes for a 37 miles journey. The reason it takes so long for a 37-mile journey is the road. We're going to go through single track road all the way through now to Craig Mill. So with a long Astra Mega coach, it can take some time. So the journey of about an hour and 10 minutes back to Craig Mill now. And so I'm back on the ferry. As I'm not going to get much time in Oban because of the connection time now between the ferry and the train, I've decided to have my dinner tonight on board the ferry. So I've been to the cafe bar already because I know how busy the queue will get. I have my number for my food, got a drink, and I've got some food, hot dog and chips coming. And you can get hot dog and chips, fish and chips, burgers and chips, and quite a wide variety of stuff on board the ship. They take card and cash, so you don't need to worry about having cash on you. They take card. So it's now an hour and a bit, I think it is, back to Oban. So my food has arrived. We get a hot dog and chips. Hot dog and chips was £9.90. So I say reasonable for ferry food and what you can get. Some people might think it's expensive, but you're on a ferry. You're the only place to eat. So, yeah, not too bad I suppose. And we've just started to move away from the Isle of Mull back to Oban. Now back on dry land at Oban. I'm going to quickly walk across the road now to the train station. I've got a train in about 10 minutes to Craiglannick, where I'm going to take tonight's Highland sleeper back up to London. I say up to London, on railway terms, up's always going towards London, even though I'm going down the country. So to me, it's up. So we're going up to London on the Caledonian sleeper from Craiglannick. Let's go to the station. So on our way to the station here, we get a glimpse of the Highland Explorer railcar. This operates on top of some services. Not every service has it, unfortunately. It's a converted 1x3, has space for cycles, and it's got extra comfortable seats, and it gives you a free refreshment. The Highland Explorer only runs on certain trains and is £10 extra to your ticket. However, my train is here now, this 156, taking me down to Craiglannick for my sleeper to London. We have now arrived at Crane Lannick, where I'm going to meet the sleeper train now up to London. This is where I'll end this video, as you've already experienced the Caledonian Sleeper with me. There's no point in going through it all again. If you've missed that video, I'll post a link in the comments of this one to the video on the way up here on the Caledonian Sleeper. Thank you for joining me on my adventure through the Isle of Mull and Inoa. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Don't forget, if you do like it, please subscribe. For now, from the Highlands of Scotland, thank you and good night.